just because a symptom is common doesn't mean it's normal. So we cannot normalize things that are not normal. The bloating, all these gut issues are common, but let's not normalize them because you should not feel that way and you were not meant to live that way.
You heard it first. Welcome to the Empower Podcast, where wellness meets real life and empowerment becomes your way of being. I'm your host, Sam. Today's episode is going to ruffle some feathers, but in the best way possible. I am joined by Amy Migdalia, a wife, mother, a friend, and the powerhouse behind Restore Your Health. After witnessing dramatic changes in her own health journey and her family's, Amy made it her mission to help others break out of survival mode and step into a life that feels vibrant, energized, and truly balanced. If you've been told that bloating is normal, constant fatigue is just adulthood, or that acne, constipation, weight struggles, or hormone chaos are things you just have to live with, well, be prepared to have those beliefs challenged. Amy is here to educate, equip, and empower you to restore your body to its most optimal state. And she does not hold back, so let's get into it. Well, Amy, welcome to the Empower Podcast. Round two. Oh my gosh, I feel like this year has flown by since you've been on.
I know.
And it's so funny because obviously I posted on Instagram, you're coming on, the feedback was incredible because honestly, everybody loved our episodes so much. I felt like we talked about so much when it came to toxins, gut health,
ingredients, labels,
nutrition, all the things. So now I just want to dig a little bit deeper because honestly, quite frankly, we could talk about this for days, all of these topics, you know?
I agree.
I really want to dig into gut health because it starts in the gut, right? A lot of the symptoms we feel every single day, chronic disease, all of these things are tied to the gut. Your story is really interesting. Can you share how your passion started when it came to gut health and what you do now?
Absolutely. So I love that you said gut health is important and it's the gateway to everything. It is so foundational for your health. And it's one of the foundations that affects pretty much every system in the body. From mental health to blood sugar to, properly digesting your food, nutrient absorption, even your immune system, 80% of your immune system is found in the gut. So it is foundational. And if you have dysfunction in the gut, it will affect every area of your body. So my story is I tore my Achilles in 2020. Like a dummy, doing rebounding box jumps.
Yeah, we were talking about the box jumps.
Yeah, don't
the
do
devil.
the box jumps, the devil. And I had to have surgery. And prior to this, I'm again very holistic, don't take a lot of medicine or anything like that. So I went from that to surgery where you're pumped with anesthesia, antibiotics, painkillers, and all the things. And when I say it disrupted my gut, it wrecked my gut. I was even throwing up from the painkillers because my body was rejecting it, just so many things. And after that, I was dealing with acne all over my face. I had reoccurring yeast infections, UTIs, just fungal overgrowth, all the things. And I knew that something was off and I needed to get some functional lab testing. So I found a practitioner who I adore. Shout out Taylor Dukes. She doesn't practice anymore.
We just started following each other.
Oh, you're going to love her.
Based out of Texas, right?
Yes. Have her on. She's amazing. Okay. She doesn't practice anymore, but she has an amazing supplement line. But she was my practitioner years ago and had her own private practice. So she ran all the functional labs for me. And one of them was a stool test amongst others. She's like, yeah, your gut is in major dysfunction. So I tweaked my diet, had to eliminate some things, went on a supplement protocol. And within, 6 months, everything went away. My skin cleared up, my bloating went away, my reoccurring yeast infections went away, my UTIs went away. I was like, oh my gosh, I feel like myself again. And some of the other symptoms that we were talking about before we started recording is I was having major gas. Ladies,
bloating.
If you're farting, it is not normal.
We're going there.
Oh, we're going there. Okay, we're going deep. Okay, we're not holding anything back. We're going to be transparent. Yes, I was farting all the time. I was bloating. I would eat something and my stomach would get distended and it would hurt. And I'm like, why do I look 20 weeks pregnant?
Yeah.
And I haven't been pregnant for years,
But it's we've been pregnant. We know how that feels. Yes.
And I'm like, there would be times when my stomach would hurt and my only relief would be to go lay on my stomach and fart it out.
That's me right now, which we'll talk about, guys. I'm going through a whole situation. But yes, I have to have a heating pad and lay flat on my stomach.
Yes. And that was the only way I was getting relief. So I knew that a lot of it was tied to the prescription medications that I had to take, going under anesthesia, antibiotics, like that just all disrupts the gut microbiome. But I was so encouraged that there was hope and there was healing, right?
Especially because you fixed that in 6 months.
Yes. And I was very inflamed, right? So I need to show you before and after pictures of just like my midsection.
Yeah.
I have a before and after picture. And I was like, wow, I was so inflamed in my before photo. And in my after photo, you could see the contours of my abs and like just like everything's just came. Yes,
and
it
I am
all went away.
experiencing that. Yeah.
Yes.
That's wild.
I'm on the other side of that now. And a stool test is something that I run annually for myself now, just to like check in, see how my gut's going. If there's something that needs to be tweaked, I'll, take some supplements, tweak my diet. Because, I travel, and when you travel, you can get exposed to different pathogens, especially if you go out of the country.
Exactly.
And so I like to do that annually with my blood work.
Okay.
And those are like my two foundational
you do
things.
blood work and
A
stool
test
tests
every year.
Tell me about the difference between stool tests versus blood work. Like they see different things?
Yes. Okay, so a comprehensive blood panel is something that I recommend for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
That would just be like your blood work. I'm not going to say standard blood work. When you go to your PCP, they're running standard blood work that's not going to include all the markers that you really need to see. So for example, from a metabolic standpoint, a primary care provider is going to run fasting glucose and hemoglobin A1C, which are great markers to run, but they're usually not running insulin. And insulin is a great marker to run because you'll see insulin resistance before we get to like the prediabetes or diabetes diagnosis. So that's just like kind of one example of like, hey, it's not as comprehensive. So I love a comprehensive blood panel. Those markers are usually going to include those metabolic markers, a full thyroid panel, inflammatory markers, a CBC, which is a complete blood count, liver and kidney markers, even some gallbladder markers.
Hormones? Is that part of the
No, I don't do hormones via the blood.
Really?
I'm not a fan.
Why?
Because for cycling females, your cycle is technically over those 30 days or 28 days.
So
28 days is an
up and
optimal
down?
cycle. So I prefer salivary testing where you're spitting into a tube for the full 28 days where we can see your luteal phase, your follicular phase. We can see where estrogen is peaking, where progesterone is supposed to be peaking on those bell curves. So it's not just one point in time in the cycle.
It makes so much sense because how many times do we get our blood work done and they're like, what day are you at in your cycle? And we're like, I don't know. Like, I think this day.
So then they'll tell you, oh, well, your progesterone's low. Is it actually low?
Is it actually low?
Because your progesterone is supposed to be low at a certain point in your cycle. Sure. And then it's supposed to start to elevate and peak at a certain point in your cycle.
Wow.
And so the hormone testing that we run, if you're getting it run through blood, it is not an accurate representation of your hormone levels.
That's so insightful.
So I have a comprehensive hormone test that we run for our one-on-one clients that I absolutely love. That is showing the 3 forms of estrogen, progesterone, FSH, LH.
You can track it every day of the whole cycle, basically.
Yes. Okay. I'm getting data. And then that's the other thing though is it's involved, right? So our clients are spitting in these tubes and freezing them for the entirety of their cycle.
Wow.
So you're spitting in a tube every 2 to 3 days. So we are going to see, E1, E2, E3 progesterone
like
all throughout your cycle.
As specific as you can get.
It is the most comprehensive hormone test that you can get. Now, other people are like, do you recommend the Dutch test?
Yeah.
I only recommend the Dutch Complete for males. I don't recommend it for cycling
Why
females.
is that? Because
it doesn't have the active form of progesterone.
Okay.
So in the Dutch test, it's not a bad test. You do get data. I love that it has the detox pathways for estrogen. However, if you actually read the test, it has progesterone metabolites. So it's alpha pregnenolone and beta pregnenolone. That is not the active form of progesterone. These are just the urine metabolites. So you can't actually measure the active form of progesterone via the urine. You can only do it via saliva.
I'm like,
blood.
so why would you even do it that way then?
A lot of people just don't know. They don't know.
Right.
But here's the good news. When people come to us with hormonal imbalances, I never start with hormone testing because hormones are never a root cause.
And you mentioned that earlier when we were talking. Hormones are driven by
upstream root causes tied to the gut, blood sugar, inflammation, your diet, sleep, and stress. Those are the foundations. Those are the foundational root causes that if addressed, your hormones will clear up. Now, if we have a situation where, let's say a female is coming to us and they're having fertility issues, we will tell them, hey, we'll run the comprehensive hormone panel for you, but only if you agree that you'll run the blood and the stool alongside it.
So you can kind of see what's going on.
Yes,
bigger
because
picture.
we already know that your comprehensive hormone panel is going to show us that there's dysfunction, but it's not going to tell us why. But the blood and the stool is going to tell us why.
Because how many times are we like, oh, it just might be our hormones, and then we are put on hormones or other type of supplements, therapy, when it's like there's so much going on in the gut, insulin, whatever else.
Correct. So that's exactly right.
With the stool, what is that? Like the stool test,
Yes.
what is that showing?
So I was talking about the blood markers earlier and what that includes. There are some markers, again, that are tied to like gallbladder, liver, inflammation that can point to nutrient deficiencies or gut dysfunction. And so then that points us like, okay, we need to look at the stool. The stool test that we run is showing us several different things. So it's showing us pathogens, right? So transitory pathogens. It's showing us H. pylori. It's showing us fungal overgrowth like candida. It's showing us parasites. It's showing us inflammatory species that could be in the gut that shouldn't be there. It's showing us dysbiotic or opportunistic species, which these are species that, you know, if given the opportunity, they're going to overgrow, right? They're going to take over the good bacteria. It's going to show us levels of good bacteria, right? A lot of people that we see are insufficient in their good bacteria. So they could have low levels of like Akkermansia, for example, which is a fantastic good bacteria commensal species that we should see present in the gut. So it shows all of that first. But then the last page of the test that I absolutely love is it's showing your intestinal health markers. So this is the function of your gut. How is your gut functioning? So for example, there's a marker called elastase 1 that is going to show us like, hey, how well are you really digesting your food? Pancreatic enzyme output, steatocrit. How well are you digesting and breaking down fats? It's also going to show us the health of your immune system as it's tied to the gut. Is your immune system in overdrive? Is it depressed or is it in optimal function? It's going to show us inflammation. Calprotectin is a great marker for that. That shows how much inflammation you're dealing with in the gut. Eosinophil activation protein is going to show us chronic inflammation or tissue damage in the gut. So these markers, we're going to know what's present in the gut, what's not present in the gut that should be in the gut, and then how well is your gut actually functioning. And when we have all of that information alongside your blood work, we're able to create a custom, nutrition and supplement protocol to help heal, seal, or eradicate whatever is going on in there.
Just amazing. And here's the thing, I feel like it can seem like it's so black and white, but there's so much gray to it, and everyone's so different.
Yep.
And like what you said about like, see how well you can tolerate fats, blah, blah, blah. Like I'm such a like macro, like, make sure you're getting your proteins, your carbs, your fats.
Yep.
But I've noticed with clients too that everybody responds different, and it could be something that's like tied with the gut, right?
Absolutely. I mean, we have people that come to us like, I don't have a gallbladder. Well, if you don't have a gallbladder, you cannot emulsify and break down fats.
Wow.
Because your gallbladder produces bile, or the liver produces bile. The bile is stored in the gallbladder releases bile. Bile is the substance that allows you to emulsify and break down fats. So if we have a client like that, it's like, okay, we want you to eat fats, but you probably need to take a supplement that's going to help you break down and emulsify the fats.
It's amazing. That's so crazy. Okay, what are the most common gut health issues or like disease that you see when you get these tests back?
A lot of people have H. pylori.
What is that?
It's Helicobacter pylori. It is a bacteria that, if at lab high levels or present virulence factors, can cause pretty much any digestive symptom that you're dealing with. From bloating and gas to diarrhea to constipation to alternating between the both to stomach pain to stomach cramps. Any symptom.
I feel like I have that.
Yeah. You could.
Like self-diagnosing.
Right? But this is when client symptom presentation is important to take into account with this stuff, because sometimes we'll have clients that come in that just have present levels of it. And if they don't have any symptoms associated with it, we're like, okay, maybe we don't need to eradicate it, right? We'll just keep an eye on it. But let's say we run a stool test for you and you had present levels of it. Well, given your symptoms, we might be like, you know what? We need to go ahead and eradicate it.
Just in case anybody is wondering kind of what's going on, I'm going to open up about kind of what I'm dealing with, which is hard because we were just talking about how we're athletes. We like to seem strong, but it's like I'm kind of going through a hard spot when it comes to my gut.
Yep.
So I've talked about this before, but like last year I went on antibiotics. I got my ears pierced. I went to Mexico on a mission trip. The water infected it. No. Got 104 fever. Like it was a nightmare.
You don't have a choice. You have to take it.
Earring. I know. Yeah. So I had to take it. And I was honestly so desperate. I was like, I just hate feeling that way. But ever since,
like I've experienced so many not ideal symptoms from inflammation. And you were mentioning that earlier, like your body, and like, I love my body. I'm so proud of it. It's so strong. I am dealing with inflammation that others might not see, but I notice myself.
Yep.
I'm still the same body fat as I was last year, but it's like
It looks different.
I look different to myself at least. It's
That's
just
exactly
the
what happened
inflammation,
to me.
like in my neck, my face, like I feel it. But the biggest things that have become most debilitating, to the point, you guys, that Ian, I have literally just cried in his arms 2 to 3 times a week, just in so much pain, like bloating to the point where it's so painful. Gas just like within my body. I can feel it in my back. The only thing, like you said earlier, that feels good is for me to lay down on a heating pad
On your stomach.
on my stomach. And it's hard because it's like, oh my gosh, like I'm a nutritionist, I'm a fitness coach, I'm trying to do everything right.
Well, and you feel like you can't tell people when you're struggling, right?
And
Because
that's the
you're
hard
supposed to be
part.
the picture of health.
And I think that's part of like me wanting to stay strong, because it's like so many people are counting on me and depending on me, like my clients and my social media, my community. But it's like I'm dealing with something, and I'm so desperate at this point to try to figure it out. And I've tried cutting out gluten. I've tried cutting out dairy. I feel like it's so much
it's
farther
that.
beyond that at this point, that I'm like, I need to seek help. So I know we talked this week, like I'm going to move forward and do all the things
We're running a
with,
stool test
we're
for
going to
you,
do
sister. We're going to do it.
That'll be interesting. I'm like, how does that work? But we're
You're
fine.
going to poop in a little basket and you'll have like this little vial that you get, samples from different parts of your poop, and then you put it in a vial and you ship it off. And then we get the results. And then
I love that.
And then,
And here's
it's a little
the thing
nasty,
too,
but it's worth it.
No, it's worth it. And I'm at a point where I'm like, I'll do whatever you want me to. I'll wear a diaper at this point if I need to.
Okay, you guys have heard me talk about Joy Women's Wellness and how they literally helped me so much when it came to my hormones, energy, other markers that my blood work showed, and they helped me get my cycle back. And if you're feeling run down, the fatigue, the mood swings, the zero motivation, the weight that will not budge, the random anxiety, I'm just going to say it, it's probably your hormones. And so many women don't realize how off things are until they finally get real testing. Your energy, your sleep, your cycles, your metabolism, your brain fog, it's all connected. And when your hormones are out of sync, you feel out of sync. But that's where Joy Women's Wellness changes the game. Joy is where I get all of my blood work, my smart supplements, and my peptides. They are the first place that actually dug into the root of what was going on. They make it really easy when it comes to blood work. They can send somebody to your house, then you meet with a provider that goes over everything. They look at your full hormone picture, your thyroid, cortisol, estrogen, progesterone, micronutrients, all the things traditional labs usually gloss right over. And then they build a plan that actually supports your body so you can feel normal again, or better than normal. So if you're dealing with constant fatigue, burnout, PMS that feels like a personality change, stubborn weight, perimenopause symptoms, or just feeling off, Joy makes it so easy to finally get answers and get help that's tailored specifically to women. And because they partner with my podcast, you guys can get 50% off labs and 15% off all supplements with the code SAMCFitPod. So if your hormones are calling the shots and you're over it, go check out joyandblokes.com and use code SAMCFitPod. This is your sign to finally get your body back on your side. Okay, you guys know me. I am so picky about the cleaning products I use, and I need things that actually simplify my life and not add to the chaos, and preferably that are non-toxic. And when I started using Branch Basics, it was one of those, where has this been all of my life moments? I love that the concentrate does everything. I use the same bottle on my kitchen counters, bathroom tile, toys, laundry, literally all of it. It saves me time, it saves me space, and it actually cleans better than the stuff I've used before. And knowing it's safe around the kids, it just gives me so much peace of mind, especially during the holidays when everything feels so chaotic. And their starter kit, you guys, has officially replaced pretty much every cleaning product in my home. And moms, if you're trying to create a healthier home that's non-toxic, or you're just tired of juggling 10 different bottles under the sink, you'll love this. It's the easiest, most impactful swap I have made in the past 2 years. Get yourself and your loved ones the best gift of all, the gift of clean with Branch Basics. And for a limited time, our listeners get 15% off and free shipping on their premium starter kit when you use code EMPWR. And for a limited time, our listeners get 15% off and free shipping on their premium starter kit when you use code EMPOWER at branchbasics.com/empower. That's 15% off at branchbasics.com/EMPWR with code EMPWR. Please support the show and tell them we sent you. Get Branch Basics this holiday season because all things clean matter.
It's hard because on social media, like there's so many different sides. It's like, oh, bloating's normal. And then like, oh, it's not, but it's not.
It's not.
It's not normal. Bloating
is not normal. Farting and excessive gas, not normal. Diarrhea, not normal.
And that's my thing
not
too,
normal.
is like, so I was diagnosed probably 8-9 years ago with IBS.
Which is a lazy diagnosis in my opinion.
Thank you. Because like they gave me medication and then I went off of it because I'm not going to get into the specifics, but it was a disaster. But like I kind of fluctuate between constipation and then
diarrhea.
And diarrhea. There's never...
We have so many clients that are alternating like that.
The only time that I am like, it's like healthy bowel movements and it seems like great and easy is like right after my period. And I don't know if that's tied in with hormones or what. There could be, I don't know, but it's a nightmare because I'm like, what am I going to get today? Like, am I going to have to be on the toilet all day or am I going to be constipated for 2 or 3 days?
Yeah.
And it's hard because like I'm taking probiotics, I'm taking colostrum, I'm doing all these things that you would think would be great for gut health, which I know does help. But like you said, it's deeper.
It's deeper. And I also think probiotics are overused.
Is it because of specific strains?
It can be because of the specific strains. But remember, the gut is all about balance. So, I was talking about the opportunistic, bacteria earlier.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that we won't have, a good and bad bacteria present. It's when one is out of balance versus the other. And that was actually something that showed up on my stool test because in 2020, 5 years ago, I was like you and of the belief like a probiotic's good. So I was taking it every day. My stool test, I had overgrowths of good bacteria. I had too much of it, which can cause, bloating, gas, all of these things. I had candida and fungal overgrowth, which can also cause the same things. But I had to stop my probiotic and
like reset everything.
I had to eradicate some stuff. So we do have people that are like, oh, I've been taking a probiotic for 3 years. And I'm like, stop.
Yeah.
Now,
interesting.
A lot of our protocols do include a probiotic.
A specific
type, a specific strain, usually spore-based, so it can survive the harsh environment of the gut. I'm like, if you're taking a probiotic that has to be refrigerated, how is it going to survive the harsh, warm, acidic environment of your stomach before it reaches your gut? It's not.
I've always wondered that. That's such a good point.
It's not. Like your internal body temperature is 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit.
So
but
why
you're
do
telling
they do
me that it has to be refrigerated to stay alive? Well, then it's going to die.
Like right when it enters. That doesn't make sense.
I agree. So the probiotics that I like are not just transitory either. They're going to like get to the gut, reseed the gut. They're not just going to get to the gut and then you poop it out. So yeah, again, it's going to be a case-by-case basis, but that's why a lot of people are like, I take a probiotic and I still deal with these gut issues. And I'm like, well, because the probiotic is only one very small piece of the puzzle.
So it's like to really dig deep and find that root cause, you got to get the stool test.
You got to get the stool test. And sometimes the probiotic that people are taking isn't great.
Yeah. Yeah, like quality and everything makes, so you do the stool test.
Yep.
Like most common with your clients, I know every client looks different, but like, are you resetting their diet, like supplements,
everything?
Like ground zero, we're starting over.
Yes. So we look at everything. We're looking at what they're eating, what they're drinking, even their stress levels. That's
such
a big one.
Part. Stress is everything.
People never, ever tie stress and the gut together. And this is how they're tied together. Your nervous system operates in 2 modes, parasympathetic and sympathetic. Your parasympathetic nervous system is like rest, relax. We call it rest and digest. That is when your body is in the optimal state to digest food. Sympathetic state is fight or flight.
Yeah.
So if you are stressed while you are trying to eat, you're not going to digest a thing. The brain is going to signal to the gut, hey, we're in fight or flight. And digestion starts in the brain with your nervous system. So if you're not in a like sitting down, pray before you eat, take a couple deep breaths, take a bite, chew your food properly, you're already going to cause digestive dysfunction from the jump.
I have never thought about that.
Yes. So digestion is a parasympathetic process.
Because a lot of the times I feel like with my lifestyle too, it's like I'm obviously eating these healthy things, but I'm like in the car,
yes,
in between calls, like scarfing something down.
Yeah, and don't do that either.
Yeah.
That by itself, even if you didn't have, like say you had a clean stool test, people scarfing their food down, not chewing it properly. Second part of digestion is in the mouth. Saliva has digestive enzymes in it that start the process of breaking food down. Teeth, masticating the food, chewing and liquefying your food before you swallow it. If you're scarfing your food down and you've got these whole big chunks of food, your stomach doesn't have teeth.
It's not going to chew it down.
It can't chew it down for you.
Wow.
And then here's another one that people don't connect. Stress depletes stomach acid or hydrochloric acid. And the stomach acid or the hydrochloric acid, if it's not robust, your food is just going to sit there and putrefy and ferment. And then people are like, oh my gosh, I have acid reflux. And it's like, well, yeah, that ileocecal valve is not going to open if the level of acidity in your stomach doesn't reach a certain point to pass that food off to the small intestine.
Wow. So mindfulness with eating, chewing.
Remember that digestion is a parasympathetic process. Chew your food really well and kind of liquefy it before you swallow it. And then again, stress is tied to the HCl, but then protein intake.
Okay, let's talk
People
about that.
don't eat enough protein, and protein stimulates stomach acid production.
Does it? Okay,
Yes.
I didn't know that piece.
Yes. So stress and protein are like top two priorities when it comes to stomach acid, and almost always it's called hypochlorhydria. That is like low stomach acid. That is usually a root cause of like why people have the pathogens. Okay, so H. pylori, right? H. pylori does not thrive in a acidic environment. So people with low stomach acid usually have lab high levels of H. pylori.
Interesting. So
they're stressed and they're not eating enough protein.
So those clients are like, hey, we got to up your protein, like
Yep.
high protein diet.
Yep.
Is there ever any cases where you would be like, we need to lower the protein?
Never.
Okay.
Never.
I love that.
Almost
Music's my
always
ears.
people are not, especially women, they're not eating enough protein. And then their solution, and I'm going to ruffle some feathers here, is protein shakes.
Yeah. No,
And
I'm
like-
on the same agreement with you.
I'm
Yes.
like, here's the problem with the protein shakes. Protein powder is still technically processed.
Yep.
There are cleaner options. So hear me out. There's cleaner options, but you're not chewing it.
Mm-mm.
You're just swallowing it.
Or in a smoothie
So that's
or
not
something.
stimulating that stomach acid production. We need you to chew. We've got to signal to your brain that digestion needs to start.
Yeah.
And that smelling the food, cooking the food, getting the senses, getting your salivary glands going, chewing that food is so much better for digestion than doing this. So then we'll have clients that come to us like, I get 100 grams of protein a day. I'm like, congrats, let me see your journal. And it's like smoothie for breakfast, smoothie for lunch, and then their first real meal is at dinner time. And I'm like, that's why you're having gut issues.
I was about to say, so what kind of symptoms for people that have that kind of diet are they experiencing?
Usually bloating, gas, stomach pain, diarrhea, and constipation are the top 5 symptoms that we see.
Interesting.
Bloating and gas being the top 2.
So Dr. Josh Axe was on, and
I love him. He's great.
Amazing.
He's so knowledgeable.
Love him. So knowledgeable. Good man. But he was talking about like, we were talking after and I was telling him kind of the symptoms I'm having. He was like, cut out like anything where you can swallow like smoothies. Like I want you to get like hearty food, like potatoes, meats, like, and chew.
Chew.
Yeah. And it's good for your
so
jaw
important.
too.
So good for your jaw.
And it
Don't
gives
get me onto airway, okay?
And it gives you a good like defined jaw.
The other part of the gut and protein powder connection is people are using a lot of stevia and monk fruit. And we are seeing in a lot of people that's driving the stevia, the sugar alternatives are driving a lot of gut dysfunction.
So even stevia and monk fruit that are natural.
Yes.
Why
We're
is
noticing-
that? Just the quantity?
I don't know if it's the quantity or how it's processed. I wish I could answer that specifically. I don't know. But like even my other practitioner who works for me, when she cut out stevia and monk fruit altogether because she was having gut issues and acne on her face, everything started to clear up.
Really?
Yes.
So I use some supplements that have like a lot of monk fruit in it. Stevia is like hit or miss. I can tolerate very low amounts, but I notice stevia.
I
immediate
can't
bloating.
tolerate stevia. I
can't.
get bloated.
Same. I'm the same way.
And I also, again, gonna ruffle some feathers
It's
here.
all right. We're here for it.
Plant-based protein.
Oh yeah, I can't.
That is like number one bloater,
For a lot of people.
For so many people. Like,
and why is it just the plants? Like,
yeah, I mean, like there's the pea proteins, the pumpkin proteins, like all the different seeds. And I'm like, your gut cannot tolerate that.
All of those at once too.
No. I'm like, cut out the plant-based protein powders, please.
Yes.
And then you have to be careful because some of them will have a mix. So it'll have like a whey protein or like a beef protein isolate plus a pea protein. And
Which
or
is
like
even more complicated for the gut. It's a lot going on. And it sucks because here's my thing. And I tell my clients too, whole foods first when it comes to protein.
1,000%.
Whole foods. If you are like, I need something after my workout or for a snack, like
use it as it's supposed to be, as a supplement.
Yes.
Don't make it a replacement for your meals.
I'm actually about to post like what I eat in a day just with whole foods, no supplements, just to show like you can do it. You have to be strategic, but you can do it.
I can hit 150 grams of protein easily in a day.
Yeah.
Eating
tuna,
real food.
I love
sardines. Look at my shirt. I don't know if you can see it.
Wait, it is so cute. I didn't even see. Oh my gosh. Okay.
It was like a fish fry collaboration with a fashion brand.
How
and
do you
I love
eat your sardines? I can't do that.
Yes, you can.
But how? I feel like they don't taste
How do
great.
they can't?
Wait, what? Just like by yourself, like with nothing on it?
I love it. If you want to make it like really tasty, I've done this too. You can like saute it in butter, tomato sauce, some onions, and my kids like it that way too. But I also I force my kids to eat it.
Don't you see the whole fish?
Not really. It's a little fish. There's not a head on it.
There's not? Okay.
No.
I think I'm just imagining
And
it like the
sardines
restaurants with Caesar salads. It comes on top.
No, but the bones are so soft, there's no crunch.
Okay.
So it's just like eating a piece of fish. I like it in olive oil.
Okay.
I'm not going to eat the sardines that are just in water.
Yeah.
I love the olive oil. And I mean, talk about a fantastic source of essential fatty acids. Sardines, love it. But I would say sardines and salmon are like my two go-tos.
So for the listener that's like, maybe I'm not ready to like go full on testing, just kind of like I'm maybe experiencing some symptoms, but just kind of want to eliminate, maybe add in, like what would you recommend to somebody that's like, what can you do like today to kind of reset some things that maybe you're experiencing bloating, whatever?
Yeah. So first thing, switch to whole foods exclusively. So if you're supplementing with the protein powders or anything like that, even electrolytes, just stick to whole food. That's first. Second, increase your protein intake. And when I say protein, I mean food. So your animal meats, like don't be afraid to eat the beef, eat the steak, red meat's fantastic. Stick to that. Third thing that a lot of people don't realize is it is so much easier to digest food that has been cooked than it being raw. So with our clients,
and vegetables, right?
Vegetables especially. Vegetables are much harder to digest. Remember, they have anti-nutrients. They could have, lectins, oxalates, phytic acid. That's going to make it so much harder for your gut to digest. So they can even have goitrogens, which mimic thyroid. So like if you have thyroid issues, avoiding goitrogenic foods, which can include some vegetables. But again, the way that you can reduce those anti-nutrient contents that make it very hard for your gut to digest is you cook it down. So like stop eating raw salads, raw spinach, raw kale, raw carrots, raw celery. Like that is so hard. Make stews, like Josh Axe was saying, right? Cook it in bone broth. Put your carrots and your potatoes and your meat, cook it in bone broth, saute your vegetables, bake them. Like it is so much easier for you to digest and on your gut if it is cooked down.
And honestly, this time of year, it being fall,
yes,
perfect
get
time.
your soups, get your stews, get your bakes. Yes, I'm telling you. And I don't know if you've tried this, but I've tried this. Like I will take a week where I've cooked everything down and, bone broth with everything or chicken stock or whatever. And I will have no bloating, no gas, nothing.
I haven't gone that extreme and I need to.
Whereas I'll have a salad and I'm like, oh dang, I kind of farted a few times.
Just a couple. No, I can't do like raw spinach and kale. I like anytime I do have it, I notice immediately like I'm dealing with some bloating. Now I will say like it's hard because as an athlete and being on the go, like having those protein shakes and the amino acids, all these things, it is helpful.
Yep.
But I do notice like if I'm traveling and forget it all and just stick to whole foods, like I feel better.
I know. That's the same for me, right? If I'm like absolutely in a pinch, which I would say this past year, I am like you. I'm like, okay, I need to make the priority my protein from real whole foods as opposed to Because, I used to be of the school of thought, years ago, that like the smoothie could replace my meal because it has 50 grams of protein in it. But bioavailability is a big thing. And your gut and being able to absorb the nutrients, it's going to be much more bioavailable from, the food that you're eating as opposed to a processed food. That's not to say that the protein powders and the electrolytes don't have their time and place. They do. But I'm like you. I want to rely on it only when it's like an emergency or when I need it as a true supplement to what I'm doing.
Absolutely.
And I think that it's flipped because protein powders are so prevalent now and it's like all the craze. And protein is having its moment, as it should. I don't want protein to not have its moment. But now people are relying on their source of protein to come from the processed protein powders. And that's, if it's a supplement, we use it as a supplement. It's not a replacement.
Right.
So it should supplement what you're doing.
There's a big difference.
It's a big difference.
So for somebody that's in a good rhythm, right? Maybe they've cut some things out, added in. They're like, okay, this feels good. Like obviously in life, we go through ups and downs. Like what's the best way to stay consistent with a good, healthy gut?
I think it's cooking at home and realizing that cooking at home is not as inconvenient as people make it out to be.
The travel and things like that get people.
Yeah. So I was just having this conversation with a friend yesterday, and my family and her family traveled to the beach this summer. And she said, you want to know what was so transformational? Because she's been kind of slow to make some of the changes, right? Because in her mind, it seems overwhelming to cook her food and, be in control of the ingredients. And from a convenience standpoint or traveling, let's just order out, right? And she was like, we were at the beach with y'all, and let me tell you how what was so transformational for me. She's like, I watched y'all, because we just stayed in a house together. She's like, I watched y'all wake up, cook your meal, get groceries from the store, cook lunch, cook dinner, and it was effortless. Like it was easy. You could tell it was just a part of y'all's routine. It didn't stress you out. It wasn't chaotic. This is just like what y'all do. And it was so simple. We like made steak one night, cut up some fruit and raw cheese, had a side, and like that was it. And it was simple, routine. Right? She was like, it wasn't some elaborate meal that took us 2 hours to make. And I was like, that's exactly right. I'm like, some nights for us, and I have 3 kids, 2 of the 3 play multiple sports. Like we're very busy. I run a business. I'm cleaning the house, cooking. Like I'm busy just like everybody else. But it doesn't have to be complicated. I did this on stories a few months ago.
I remember this.
I started the story and I said, I'm going to brown my ground beef and I'm going to make a bowl. And it took me 6 minutes to make the meal.
No, and you highlight what you eat a lot too.
Yes.
And you show it, which I love
show
that.
School lunches, like everything. Like it took me 6 minutes from beginning to end to brown some grass-fed ground beef. I topped it with some raw cheese, sliced avocado, some fermented cabbage, aka sauerkraut. So I had my protein, my fat, my fiber. It's a perfect balanced meal. It took me 6 minutes. You cannot tell me that DoorDash takes 6 minutes.
I know my ladies feel this. There's this moment at the end of the day, right after the chaos, dinner, laundry, workouts, work, all of it, where my whole body just wants to relax and enjoy comfort, a place to land, and honestly, Cozy Earth has become that place for me and my family. We have their products in practically every room now. The bamboo viscose sheets that somehow keep you warm without overheating, which I know Ian loves. The loungewear, and my current obsession, the bubble cuddle blanket. It's one of those gifts that feels like it should only come out on special occasions, except we use it every single day. We literally have one in every room. Movie nights, slow mornings, kids snuggled up on the couch, and even our dog Lucy has claimed one as her own. And giving Cozy Earth as a gift, it feels like gifting someone the chance to actually rest, something every mom I know desperately needs, and especially around the holidays. Plus, with their 100-night trial and 10-year warranty, there's literally no risk. But once you feel it, you won't even think about returning anything. So if there's someone in your life who deserves everyday luxury, or you want to treat yourself, head to cozyearth.com and use my code SAMCFIT for up to 20% off. And if you get a post-purchase survey, make sure to mention you heard about Cozy Earth right here. Give the gift of comfort that lasts beyond the holidays and carries into the coziest new year. So here's the deal. There are certain things that you should not have to second guess, and water should be one of them. But the more I learned, the harder it became to ignore. 3 out of 4 U.S. homes have toxic chemicals in their tap water. And the scary part, it still looks clean, right? but all carrying things linked to fatigue, hormone disruption, cognitive issues, and even cancer. And here's what really got me. The filters most of us rely on, like the fridge filter and the pitcher, they barely remove anything. So we made the switch to AquaTrue, and it has been a huge weight off my mind. It's a countertop purifier with a patented 4-stage reverse osmosis system that removes 84 contaminants like chlorine, lead, forever chemicals, microplastics, all the things you do not want your kids or your family drinking. No installation, no plumbing. You literally plug it in and it does all the work. It's been named Best Countertop Water Filter by Good Housekeeping, featured in Business Insider and Popular Science. And honestly, I get why 98% of customers say their water is cleaner, safer, and healthier. Head to aquatrue.com now and get 20% off your purifier using promo code SAM. AquaTrue even comes with a 30-day best tasting water guarantee or your money back. Take the guesswork out of pure, great tasting water with this exclusive podcast-only offer now at aquatrue.com. That's AQUATRU.com using promo code SAM.
Can we talk about this for a second? And since you ruffled feathers, I'm going to do it now.
Come on, ruffle them, girl.
But I have a hard time with some of the messages I get of just like, oh, I don't have time to meal prep, or I don't have time to do
sympathy
this
for
and
that.
It's hard because it's like I am such a like people pleaser and like love people and like want to see people where they're at, but it's like laziness to me, right?
Listen, if you want my honest opinion, I think a lot of people are very lazy, and it's an excuse.
It's hard for me because like, it doesn't take that long.
It doesn't take that long, and really, what people don't want to admit is that they're not prioritizing it.
Yep.
You are going to spend your time where your priorities are, and if your priority is not health, then you're not going to take the time to do it. Nope. And you'll blame it on the fact that you don't have time, when really you need to blame yourself because you're not making it a priority.
Yes.
So a lot of people make excuses, and they're lazy, and they don't want to sacrifice, right? They're like, I want my Chick-fil-A, and I want my Diet Coke, and I want my Starbucks. Okay, well, you're going to continue to deal with what you're dealing with, and I don't feel bad for you. And that sounds very harsh.
No, but it's not, because it's like, okay, well, instead of sending this message to me and spending the time that you're scrolling on the phone, you could have
already made dinner.
You could have already made dinner. I mean, honestly. And I think to your point, it's like all about prioritizing. I did a Q&A and somebody was like, I just don't understand how you find the energy and like are so disciplined with working out every day. And I'm like, because it's a non-negotiable.
It's a non-negotiable for me.
Non-negotiable. That and
my
eating
mom
healthy.
was like the other day was like, you really do go work out every day, don't you? Not on Sundays. Sundays is my Sabbath.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah. I mean, I had a big launch for our lab testing membership a week ago. We did a live boot camp 2 weeks ago.
Amazing.
I'm traveling here. We've planned an in-person event that's tomorrow. Like, I have all these things. Not one time did I miss my morning session because it is a priority.
And you're at a point now where it is such a priority. If you're thrown off, you feel that.
1,000%.
I feel that. If I don't work out for a couple of days, whether it's travel, sick, whatever, my body is like, Sam, like we need to move. Like it secretes endorphins. Like it quite literally can cure depression, anxiety,
1,000%.
all of these mental illnesses that we battle every single day.
Metabolic issues.
Blood
sugar, insulin, all the things.
Which, can we talk about blood sugar and insulin? I know we were talking about like nutrients and gut health. I want to talk about like the other side, because again, with my profession, I work with clients on losing weight, changing body comp in a healthy way.
Yep.
But there's so much more than just like macros
Absolutely.
and lifting weights. Like, we have to look at insulin. Talk to us on why that's so important to make note of.
Yes. So insulin, my opinion, and what I've seen in working the past 4 years with over 1,000 people at this point, insulin is your fat storing hormone. Okay. So when you eat a particular item or food, it could be food, it could be beverage, if it spikes your insulin, well, I'll say if it spikes your blood sugar,
right,
the pancreas is like, okay, we need to produce insulin. Insulin then enters the cells to lower blood glucose levels back in this tight range. So your body, your blood sugar levels, your glucose levels operate within this tight range. When they go outside of those tight ranges, most of the time it's when it's elevated, pancreas secretes insulin. Insulin's job is to lower glucose levels. On the flip side, if it's too low, then it secretes glucagon. Glucagon is the hormone that's responsible for raising blood sugar levels back into this tight range. With people who are struggling to lose weight, they usually have insulin and blood sugar issues because their blood sugar is chronically spiked, which means their insulin is chronically secreted and elevated. And so you're essentially in fat storing mode all day. And you could be
Even like from the moment you wake up.
from the moment you wake up.
Where you're fasted. Yeah.
Yes, where you're fasted. And what people don't realize is there are whole foods that spike insulin.
So what are those?
So your grains, your starches, even fruit, right? So I had somebody that I was working with who was like, I can't lose weight and, I'm struggling. And I'm like, okay, let's see what you eat. And it was like, she was eating whole foods, right? She's like, I eat healthy and I'm losing weight. And I'm like, okay, let's see what you eat. Breakfast, oatmeal with strawberries, blueberries, topped with yogurt, granola, and a drizzle of honey. And I was like,
that's like a
hello, 100-point
recipe.
spike right here. We've just your body is pumping out insulin right now, and you're going into fat storing mode for 6 to 8 hours. And by the way, when you have that spike, you're going to have that crash because almost always the pancreas is outputting additional insulin because it perceives it as an emergency to get back in that tight range.
Right.
And it overshoots. So it produces so much insulin that now your blood sugar gets too low. So then your brain is like, alert, alert, alert. I need more of that sugar, starch, or carbohydrates to raise it. So then your body is craving those things all over again.
Which makes so
Which
much
then
sense.
you're like, okay, I need the crackers or the potato chips or more sugar. We eat that, causes another spike. Then it causes another crash. And then come afternoon time, they're like, I need coffee. I'm tired. I'm fatigued. They drink the coffee. What is the caffeine and the sugar and the acids? Spikes it again. Then we crash again. So then all day we're on this energy roller coaster. We have no energy. We're fatigued. And it can only be relieved by eating more starch, more carb, more sugar, more caffeine. And then you're like, well, I ate healthy and I can't lose weight. Well, yeah, you had insulin storage all day.
Yeah. So like with oatmeal, so say somebody's like, which I'm not a fan of oatmeal. I think it's great if you're an athlete. Like for me, I'm eating oatmeal.
Totally
when
different.
I am on
You're
runs.
running 17 miles. You are the
It's
anomaly.
different. Yes.
When I'm speaking about this, I am talking about the average person.
Absolutely.
The average person is not training for an Ironman, doing high rocks, full marathon, none of that.
Absolutely. I tell my
So
clients
they
that eat
cannot
oatmeal.
afford to eat that.
No, to cut it out. Like let's do sourdough toast or something else.
I wouldn't even do sourdough.
Wait, why? We don't have
Because
my
it's a
feelings
grain.
here.
It's a grain.
But
It's bread. It's wheat processed down into bread. It is going to cause a blood sugar spike every single time.
even if you pair it with protein and fats.
Even if you pair it with protein and fats.
So what carbs would you recommend eating?
Well, it depends. If somebody's really dealing with severe blood sugar dysregulation, insulin, weight gain, we cut it.
See, that's hard because I'm thinking like athlete mindset of like you need carbs
Athletes
for
are
glycogen
different,
stores.
but because athletes have what that the average person doesn't who's dealing with being overweight. Muscle. Healthy skeletal mass allows for excess glucose uptake.
So I need to not reframe my mindset.
You have to reframe your mindset that the person that
you're
you're talking to is not you. My husband is a professional athlete. He's played in the NFL for 11 years. Completely different conversation. But his healthy skeletal muscle mass is insane. He weighs 310 pounds, and I think 275 of it is all skeletal
when I
muscle
see any
mass.
pictures, I'm like, you guys, first off, just side note, the height difference. He's so big.
Yes.
Okay, so that makes sense.
So that's different.
For the average,
they don't have that excess glucose storage available because they don't have the same amount of healthy skeletal muscle mass that you do.
So what about the average woman that's working out 4 to 5 times a week, getting her steps in? Are you more focused on protein and fats?
Protein and fats.
Nutrients?
Her carbohydrates can still, people forget vegetables are carbohydrates.
Right. And fruit?
And fruit as well. So everybody thinks carbohydrates is potatoes, rice, quinoa. I'm like, no. The macronutrient that is classified as carbohydrates, fruits, vegetables, starches, grains, legumes, they all fall under that category. People just discount vegetables as a carbohydrate because they're like, well, it nets out to zero because of its
high
fiber.
carb.
Yeah, but I'm like, it's still a carbohydrate.
Right.
I'm not telling them to just eat meat and fat. They're still eating carbohydrates. They're just not eating
The breads.
starchy carbohydrates. So there's a difference.
Yeah, and I'm wondering, it'll be interesting when we do my stool test, what that will show. Because I am eating, obviously sourdough toast and, right now, specifically, oatmeal and stuff just to help me, stick to those runs and be able to survive. But I do feel like any times where I lessen the load of working out and the running, and I'm sticking to just like high protein, healthy fats, like fruit,
You probably
vegetables,
feel way better.
I feel so much better.
And fruit
It's
is
hard-
way easier to digest.
Right. And it's hard too because Ian is like your husband. He's an athlete. And it's like the stuff they eat.
You
I'm
don't
like,
even
my
pay
body
attention.
would literally collapse on the floor.
1,000%. Same. If I ate how my 310-pound husband ate, I would be 210 pounds.
Oh my gosh. No, literally same.
You can't, but also men and women are so different.
Yeah.
Hormones are different. Stress is different. If a man is doing something, females don't feel like you need to be doing the exact same thing.
Which I hear that in a lot of my conversations, like, oh, I just have a hard time knowing what to eat because my husband makes literally potatoes and steak every single night.
Yeah, and you don't have to eat
you can make
potatoes
the
every
broccoli
single night.
with the steak, or whatever else.
Exactly.
Can we talk really quick about the correlation of like stress and inflammation with like timing our meals too?
Yeah, so timing of the meals is actually more of a circadian rhythm thing.
Okay, let's talk about it.
And a blood sugar thing too.
Okay.
And there are hormones involved in this. So people don't correlate that as well. So timing of eating. We are really ruffling feathers today.
That should be the title of this episode.
Yeah, ruffled the feathers. For all of my ladies that do this intermittent fasting.
Yeah.
Please stop. STOP, stop. Okay? Y'all are eating dinner and then essentially fasting and starving yourself until noon or 1 the next day. And it is called breakfast because you are breaking your fast. Break, fast, breakfast, okay? You are the most metabolically ready to go when you wake up in the morning, okay? So my recommendation, you need to eat within 30 minutes to an hour of waking. Do not wait, okay? You wake up, cortisol is the hormone that's responsible for waking you up. That peaks in the morning, okay? Your metabolism is revving. You need to eat and break your fast in the morning.
What about like, because sometimes with me and like I know other clients too, it's like I always eat within an hour. I usually do like protein, which I know is processed, but I use a cleaner form in my coffee just for some substance. I have a hard time eating breakfast if I have not gone to the bathroom.
You should be going to the bathroom.
Well, so that just ties into
your gut issues. So if we fix your gut issues, then that won't be an issue.
And it's normally like, I feel like I'll normally go a couple hours after I wake up. I still eat and push through, but like it doesn't feel great. So I just need to figure that out.
Yeah. Well, and it also could be tied to, again, the timing of your meals later on. So I tell people, you have got to learn to fast properly. Where the fast should take place is not the first half of your day. The fast should take place after dinner.
While you're sleeping.
People are eating too late.
Right.
That's the problem. Okay. And here's where it breaks down. When the sun goes down, it signals, you get information through your eyes to your brain. So it signals to your brain that we need to start producing melatonin, which is the hormone that is responsible for making you tired, sleepy, and getting you to bed. When melatonin starts increasing, it slows processes in the body. One of those processes, it slows down the pancreas, which is responsible for outputting insulin and tied to blood sugar. So you're not as metabolically flexible in the evening time to be eating dinner at 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night. That's going to disrupt your sleep. It's going to disrupt glucose. It's going to put additional stress on the body. And instead of repairing, detoxifying, restoring, now we're digesting while we're sleeping. So then when you wake up, you're not hungry or you feel full and you're like, well, I'm not ready to go to the bathroom yet. So then I'm not really hungry for breakfast because you have the food from dinner that wasn't digested properly when it should have been. So then you're like, well, I'm not hungry for breakfast, so I don't eat.
So what would you, because I always say like that 2-hour mark before bed, like should be your last food.
I say way earlier than that.
So what time would you recommend?
I recommend eating dinner at like 5 p.m.
Which I love that. My kids eat then. And like, I always feel better when I eat it and get it over with.
Same.
Yeah.
So we eat dinner at 5 and I'll go to bed at 9 or 9:30. And it takes how many hours to properly digest your food? 4 to 5. So you've already properly digested your food before you went to sleep.
Which your body's able to do all the things it needs to do.
Correct. While
Recovery,
you're sleeping.
regulation.
So then when you wake up, you probably will have that morning bowel movement before you even eat.
Because I think, and it's hard because like the freaking days go by so fast.
So
but it's
fast.
like 7:30 sometimes before we'll eat dinner. And at that point, it's like, okay, well, I've got to get, especially with training. This is where it's hard, guys, being an athlete, being like, I have to hit these numbers in order for my hormones to stay balanced and all these things.
Yes.
I'm like cramming food in, quite literally, being like, I need this as fuel to work out the next day.
Right.
But then it's like 7:30, 8 o'clock, and it's like, ugh. is it better not to eat? Like, you know what I mean? So I just need
know.
to,
It
like, we go
depends
back,
what your goal
prioritize.
is, right? What's
Yeah.
the priority? If the priority is training for the Ironman and, you know, the marathon, and you need to make sure you don't pass out, then obviously the calories are the priority.
Yeah.
But if the priority is, I want to wake up hungry for breakfast
Yep.
and having proper bowel movements, then I wouldn't eat.
Absolutely.
So you and I are just in different stages. I'm not training for anything like that.
But it's like, how can I find that balance, which will be interesting. Like,
When you're done with this, I think it will be interesting to kind of like go back to the table,
Yep.
re-examine what your fitness goals are, because you're already super fit,
yeah.
right?
And we
So
were
then what does that
talking
look
about
like
that.
for you in the future?
Right. I don't want to be doing all of these like marathons and High Rocks and Ironman forever. Like
Right.
next year, I want to complete my 70.3, obviously continue with my progressive overload programs, work out every day. But I want to start a family. And it's like my body has to be in a good, stable,
Yes.
safe place for
Yep.
that to happen.
You can't be training for Ironmans and
No.
expect that like your female hormones are going to feel safe to get pregnant.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
I totally agree with you on that front.
Yeah.
But yeah, timing of eating is important. And so I would rather somebody like, you know, if they're trying to hit that 16-hour fast, instead of fasting from, you know, eating dinner at 8 p.m. and not eating until 12 noon the next day, have dinner much earlier, like 4 or 5 p.m. And then you're fasting until breakfast the next morning at 7 or 8 and you've hit the 16 hours.
So I was about to say, is 16 your maximum?
I'm actually not somebody who believes in daily fasting. Where I think fasting can be very beneficial is doing an extended fast every now and then. So like doing like a full 24-hour fast, maybe like once a month, right? For women, we can hit that cellular autophagy detox at the 24-hour mark. I wouldn't go more than like 48 hours for women. For men, you could do like up to 72-hour fast to hit that like cellular autophagy detox. So,
Right.
so I'm not somebody who does like a daily intermittent fasting at all.
But at night, like, is there like for the people that are eating, say at like 6
Yeah.
p.m. for dinner, and then
Then
the
just
next,
you could have breakfast the next morning. I mean, 6 to 6 is still 12
that's
hours.
a long time.
That's great.
Right. A lot of people
Yeah,
aren't even
I
doing
mean,
that.
12 hours is fine.
Yeah.
That
And
is perfectly fine. It does not have to be 16 hours.
And to your point, like men and women are so different.
So
Ian
different.
always has to have like a snack before bed, and his
My
snack.
husband does the same thing. And it drives it every night. He has yogurt.
Oh, mine has
before bed.
cereal.
He used to be the cereal eater. And then we ran his blood work and I'm like, your insulin is high. Stop with the cereal. At least the yogurt has some protein and fat
Right.
in it to
Yeah.
temper some of the sugar that's in it.
So funny.
So I switched that out for him and now he does yogurt every night. I'm
Oh,
like,
well, that's a lot healthier. I'm calling Ian out right now, but he'll add like chocolate chips.
you have yogurt with chocolate chips. Are you a child? He's like, every week at the grocery store, he puts a bag of chocolate chips in the cart. And I'm like,
Oh my gosh, on my Thrive Market, he was like, can you get 6 packages? Because they were like on sale. And I was like, this is insane, but yes.
Ian and Nick are the same.
It wasn't until a couple of years ago when I really saw the quality of a pillow and how it can make a difference. And I switched to Lagoon pillows. You guys, these are the pillows we sleep on every single night. And even the kids are obsessed. They bring them into the living room, pile them on the couch, steal each other's. They're just that good. And if you've been wanting to try a different pillow, I highly suggest and recommend Lagoon. This is the moment because their biggest sale of the entire year is happening right now. And it's even better than the usual deal I share. You can get $25 off every pillow, $60 off 2, or $160 off 4, which makes them perfect for holiday gifting. And the best part, there's no code needed. The discount is automatically applied at checkout, which makes life so much easier. They even launched 3 new products for the holidays, including the Polar Bear Pillow, which is reversible and adjustable with this amazing cooling feel, plus a new Cooling Flex pillowcase and a travel compression bag. And if you're like me and refuse to sleep on anything but your own pillow when you travel, this is for you. And here's the thing, there's limited supply and the most popular models always sell out during the Black Friday rush, so do not wait. Head to lagoonsleep.com to take their 2-minute quiz to find the perfect pillow. I did this. My favorite is the chinchilla, or you can stock up if you already have one you love because the sale is live now. And once they're gone, they're gone. So give someone the gift of better sleep or treat yourself. You deserve it. So lately, Ian and I have been talking more seriously about growing our family. And I've also been through this before, and I know how overwhelming it can feel. There's excitement, of course, but also a million questions about your body, your hormones, your mental health, all of it. And that's why I am so drawn to Caria, because it's the first pregnancy and postpartum app I've seen that truly puts women first. Most apps immediately jump to your baby is the size of a blueberry, but Caria is different. It focuses on you, your mind, your body, your emotional health, and whether you're trying to conceive, you're currently pregnant, or already in those really intense postpartum weeks. And that matters because every journey looks different. The app was actually created by a woman who went through IVF and pregnancy loss. So everything inside it is incredibly thoughtful. There's no triggering content. There's no pressure for a perfect glow, just daily evidence-backed tools to help you understand what's happening in your body and how to actually care for yourself through it all. And my favorite part, they just added a mom tracker for postpartum because those early weeks are wild. Trust me, I know. And sometimes it feels like everyone is tracking the baby, but no one is tracking you. So if you want to try it, you can get 6 months of Caria Premium completely free with the code SAMCFIT. Just use the link in the episode description to redeem the offer and download the app. Take care of the woman behind the journey because she matters.
Okay, so but men can handle insulin, like their insulin levels are very different.
Insulin is the same, but they tend to be able to handle more glucose because they have more muscle mass than women.
Okay.
So like my husband I could never get away with eating that much sugar before bed. There's no way. My hormones would be so dysregulated. Male hormones are different and they're able to, it doesn't matter. I could train 7 days a week and lift the heaviest amount of weight possible. I will never hit the amount of muscle mass that he has. He's a man. Women are not going to be able to put on the same amount of muscle mass that men do. So, it's just different.
No, it's just not possible.
If I weighed 310 pounds, I would be waddling. Like I would never be able to be 310 pounds with 275 pounds of skeletal muscle mass. That's not how God designed us, and that's totally okay. So that's where the difference lies. Like he has more of a flexibility with excess glucose than we do as females.
When it comes to like sweeteners, and because we hit the carbs and the starches, like how that's a no-no when it comes to glucose.
All of them.
But also
all the sweeteners are gone if you have glucose issues.
Okay, so like what are we cutting out? Are we replacing with anything?
Nothing.
Like what if we like sweeter coffee? Okay, so we're going full black with maybe a splash of cream.
If you have blood sugar dysregulation, insulin resistance, pre-diabetic, gestational diabetes, type 2 diabetes, I don't care if it's honey. I don't care if you tapped the maple tree yourself and harvested the syrup from it. No, because it is still broken down to glucose in the body, and it's very fast glucose. It's quick form of energy. So people are like, and I get it, the athlete side, it's like
different, yeah.
The athlete side, they're like, I like the carbs and the sugar for a very quick form of energy. The average person doesn't necessarily need that.
No.
Fat is actually a fantastic form of energy. So think of glucose, think of your sugar and your starchy carbs as twigs, and think of fat as like a log. If you light twigs, they're gonna burn very quickly, right? The fire, if you light them, you're lighting a fire, the twigs are gonna burn very quickly. Those are your starchy carbs and your sugar. If you light a log, it's going to be a slow burn over a long period of time. That's your fat. So fat can be a wonderful source of energy. So for my average person, I actually prefer fat as their energy source as opposed to starchy carbs and sugar. Athletes, completely different.
Sure.
You're training regimen.
The average person, which I'm sure a lot of
the average person is not a professional athlete or training for an Ironman. You're in a different category. Yeah. So some people will hear this and be like, but I am, a professional baseball player. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or a female listening to this who's like a professional high rocks competitor.
Sure.
It's totally different.
Yeah.
I'm talking to like the average American is not that.
No, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, it's like we're that.
The
1%.
average mom is not doing that.
Nope.
The average mom is just trying to get a 30-minute workout in or maybe a 30-minute walk. You do not have the same bandwidth to eat that much sugar, that much starch.
But it starts a lot of times in the drinks, like the coffees.
Oh. Coffee. Don't get me started on coffee.
Number one.
Do not get me started on coffee.
Well, let's go there. We've already ruffled.
Stop drinking coffee. Ruins your sex hormones, lowers your sex drive,
which
messes with cortisol, messes with blood sugar.
But matcha? So
like just
no caffeine.
Fat
Fat source instead.
I mean, I just drink water.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a warm beverage, drink some bone broth.
Yeah.
Add a little flaky salt in it. I have seen it so many times. I can't tell you. We almost always take when they're on gut protocols, they have to come off the caffeine, the coffee, because, coffee can have mold, sprayed with pesticides. It's extremely acidic. Like there's other things other than the caffeine that can make it not the greatest. Every single person that we have taken off of caffeine, coffee, matcha, alcohol, because alcohol is a big one, their health turns around tremendously. And then when they bring it back in after they've worked for us, like I just had a client that I was talking to, and we did a gut protocol for him for 3 months. He cut out all the alcohol and caffeine, and he finished his protocol a few months ago. And he told me he had 2 cups of coffee last week. He's like, I got a cold sore. I was jittery. My energy was off. Like he's like, it made me feel terrible. But he's like, but I would have never known that it made me feel that way without eliminating it.
Because they
for
got
a little
so
bit
used
because
to
I got
it.
so used to it.
And I know that's how all of us are.
Yes.
We become dependent and we're like, our bodies can't function without it. Like I know that if I went off coffee, it'd probably be in a much better, healthier state.
Yes.
Like that is, you know, for me, it's that comfort. I will say I started using mold-free coffee a few months ago. My brain fog did go away.
Fantastic.
So that's a little check off the box.
Yes.
But yeah, it'll be interesting. Like
what I see with most people in the coffee is they're tied to it. It's like a source of comfort. But in that source of daily comfort and ritualness, their body becomes dependent on it. Right? And so now you're teaching your body to become dependent on a beverage and you're reliant on it for energy levels. That is where I do not want people to be. I'm not talking about you had a cup of coffee once a month, once every few months. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the people who religiously have it every single morning, every single day, sometimes 2, 3, even 4 or 5 times a day. I've seen it.
And the same could go with alcohol.
1,000%.
Now, I will say I don't drink alcohol.
Yes.
And anytime I do have a glass, whether it's like a glass of champagne at a wedding or whatever, like once every few months, I'm like,
you feel terrible.
Oh my gosh.
Terrible.
I feel it the next day, even though I
was talking to my best friend
didn't
last
even
night.
finish it.
She's like, I never drink. I had a glass of wine. And I'm like, she's like, I slept terribly.
Oh, the sleep is the biggest thing.
She's like, I just feel
horrible.
horrible.
And my mood, I'm not nice the next day.
Yeah.
Like I'm short. Like neurologically, I think it
it
messes
affects your
me
brain,
up.
your liver, everything.
Yeah, because I have a lot of people that ask too, like, hey, like what alcohol of choice would you suggest? And I'm like, none. 0. I mean, I guess if you have like vodka, but like still no. That's not, I guess it's better than like a sugary margarita.
Yeah.
Glucose.
Yeah. I mean, I guess there's like levels to it, but no, I mean, if people could cut out their beverages and just rely on water, the other thing that they don't realize is the coffees, the juices, the alcohol, the, caffeine, these are all diuretic beverages. Diuretic beverages increase your urinary output in a shorter amount of time, which dehydrates you. And people are already not drinking enough water in a day. I had one girl that I worked with and she tracked it. She's like, I drank 18 ounces of water today. I was like, oh gosh. And that's it?
But
18 ounces?
A lot
and
of people are like that.
Does my coffee and my matcha and my juice and my that doesn't count? And I'm like, no.
I forgot what they said.
Those are dehydrating
Right. I was
you.
going to say like a cup of coffee like dehydrates you by like X amount of glasses of water. Like it really does deplete.
It does.
So how much water do you suggest that we drink? And then are you big with like salt or electrolytes?
Yeah. I mean, electrolytes and minerals help get water into the cell.
Right.
So yes, you do need electrolytes, but it doesn't have to be some fancy packet.
And it doesn't have to be a ton of it.
And no, it doesn't have to be a ton of it at all. It could literally be a tiny sprinkle of high quality sea salt. Or like you could get a gallon of water and put like, half a teaspoon or like something very small of high quality salt for the entire gallon. And then just, drink a little bit of that from there.
What salt do you use?
That's a good question. I have so many brands. I love Jacobsen salt. I love Saltwerk. I like Redmond's Real Salt.
And like lemon water with salt?
Yeah, lemon water is fine.
I do that.
Yes. I would say drink more water, 1,000%. Most people aren't drinking enough. And I'm preaching to the choir with myself. I'm so big on like my food and like working out that like I told my husband last week, I'm like, I almost am certain I'm dehydrated this week. Like I felt it.
Yeah.
I was starting to get a little bit dizzy, and which is never happens. And I'm like, I haven't drunk any water today really because I've just been like, go, 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 go. And he was like, you need to like, so that's something that I'm even like,
Yeah.
That's something that's easily put to the wayside, right? Because you're like, I'm cooking, I'm eating, that you're prioritizing other things that matter, of course, but it's the easiest thing to fix, right?
Right.
Just drink more water.
For the people that are like, but an 80-20 balanced lifestyle is kind of what works for me, or a 90-10, like what would you say to them?
You want me to give the nice answer or like my honest opinion?
Honest opinion.
Okay, so the 80-20 lifestyle to me is the everything in moderation.
Yeah.
I do not, I don't agree with the everything in moderation, right? Because that's not true. You wouldn't like everything in moderation, or you can have cocaine in moderation. You can like,
I mean, that's such a good
but
point.
you get what I'm saying? Like if you know that something
You gotta
is
have boundaries.
bad for you, you wouldn't just have it in moderation, right? So
Right.
like the ultra processed foods and all that, I don't think those things are in moderation. Now, to the 80-20 point, because I get asked this, like, well, do you ever eat, something that's bad for you? And I say, no. And here's why. I have found things like, I love tortilla chips. Chips and dip, they're my vice, right? But I've found the tortilla chips that are organic corn fried in beef tallow with Redmond's real salt. So like, that's not going to be.
Are you making that yourself, by the way?
No, there's a
Oh.
brand that I love
Please
and I
send me.
order
I was like, that
from.
sounds so good.
Yeah, no, I'm not making it myself. So like when I do choose to indulge, I'm still not indulging in, I'm not going to
Yes.
get Tostitos and Velveeta dip. You get what I'm saying? Like
it
I
can-
know
it
that
can
that stuff
be-
is inherently bad for
Right.
me.
That's
So
such
I'm
a
not
good
ever
point.
going to have that in moderation. Am I going to indulge in, the classic kind of like junk foods? Sure, but I'm not going to have the junk versions of them. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So it's like you can live that 100% lifestyle.
Correct.
Eat the quote unquote bad things, but make it healthy for your gut in a sense. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's like, because people ask me like, oh my gosh, your kids are deprived. I'm like, no, they're not. Like
They still have cake. They still have
yes,
cookies.
we just make it.
Yeah.
We just make it.
Yeah. Which goes back to our point of like where your priorities, the
Exactly.
laziness factor. Like there is a way to eat the things we want in a healthy way.
That's right. Right. Or at least in a healthier way.
Healthier.
Right. Because here's the problem, right? Everybody's like, flu season is coming up. I'm like,
Why do we have the
it's
flu,
not flu
guys?
season. You want to know what it is? It's candy season.
Thank you.
It's party season. It's holiday season from October to New Year's Day. Because then after New Year's Day, everyone's ready to get healthy. So arguably for 3 months, October, November, December, you are literally putting your immune system in ultra dysfunction. You're setting yourself up to get sick because we are eating ultra processed foods, sugars, dyes, nonstop for 3 months. There's always an event. There's always a party. There's always something to celebrate. It's just nonstop. Indulgence, 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 indulgence.
And when this episode airs, we're going to be like the thick of holiday season. So any tips?
Yeah. Okay. So what we do for holiday season that works well for us is like, obviously our families get together and we volunteer to bring things.
Yeah.
Right. So like we'll volunteer to bring the sides or we'll volunteer to bring the meat, or even if we don't volunteer, I'm like, I'm still bringing my own
Right.
stuff. Right. And then we'll bring enough that like
We can share.
would be for everybody that we'll share. My family at this point knows how health conscious we are, but we've also put them on protocols. We run tests for them.
They know.
And they know. Like my dad just finished a 3-month protocol because he was having severe stomach pain and was like bent over in pain at work. And he is like, never shows pain, nothing. He would never complain. Like he hasn't missed a day of work in 40 years, like would never complain. So for him to say something, I was like, okay, this has
Big
to be
deal.
serious. So we put him on a protocol, everything went away. So he is a believer in what we do. And he's like, I feel better when I eat the real food. So like we will say, okay, what desserts do we want? And me and my sister will be like, okay, y'all want brownies, y'all want cookies, what do y'all want? And we will make the healthy version of it. So much so that last year, my team and I worked on a holiday cookbook that has Thanksgiving recipes, Christmas recipes, there's proteins, there's sides, there's desserts. So it's like how we can make
Oh my
all of these
goodness.
things with whole foods.
Okay, so where can people
So
find
it's
that?
not
That's
less
convenient.
indulgent. It still has the sugar. So it's got maple syrup. It's got all the things, but it's like the whole food versions. And you can get it on my website, amymigdalia.com. Go to the shop tab and it has our cookbooks there.
Because I think we all struggle with like holiday recipes and like with these
Yes.
gatherings. Like, what do we bring? What do we make? Like,
Yes.
how do we handle
Yes.
like not
We have a
indulging?
turkey on there. We have like beef tenderloin. We have all the proteins, all the sides, all the desserts.
I love that.
Yes, and we have it listed. All of our cookbooks have like things that are like gluten-free, dairy-free, or both. Like this dessert is
you can
gluten-free and dairy-free, or this dessert is not gluten-free. It has dairy in it, or whatever the case may be. Like we really try our best to arm people with that. And then our Healthy Swap Index, fantastic.
It's a good one.
It is 200 plus pages of we've been talking about food, but we got swaps for your bathroom, your bedroom, your cleaning products, the men. We have a healthy dude section. We have a kid section.
There's so much in there, you guys.
Everything.
And I will say, because I know we talked a lot about gut health this episode, but go to like the first few episodes of Empower, and Amy's on there, and we talk more about like swaps and toxins
labels and
endocrine disruptors.
Yes.
Yeah, all those things. Tell people where they can find you if they want to work with you.
Yes.
All the things.
Yes, I'll tell you. Okay, so go to my website, www.amymigdalia.com, AMYMIGDALIA. I'm also Amy Migdalia on Instagram. There were too many Amy Williams. Migdalia is my middle name.
Though. It's a good one.
I know. So that's where you can find me. There is a tab for Work With Us. We have 3 different offerings right now, which I'm really excited about. So we have the one-on-one. That's the most expensive. It's the most in-depth. We have a group program that launches. One-on-one and group launch every January.
Okay. Well, that'll be perfect
spots,
timing with this episode.
Yes. So our one-on-one spots, when you get on our wait list, we send an email out at the end of December every single year. Those spots are very limited, so they go very quickly. And then we have our group option that also launches in January. There's a lot more spots available. We usually take on a couple hundred people for that. And then we recently launched, which is closed now. So if you're listening to this and you want to join, just wait until next year. We're going to reopen it. It's called Root. After working with people for almost 4 years, everybody wants access to the functional labs. They want the stool test. They want the comprehensive blood panel. They want the, the food sensitivity test, whatever. So we launched a lab testing membership. It's called Root. And so we want to be your destination for your annual functional labs. So you pay an annual membership fee and you get access to order all the functional labs plus ongoing practitioner support. We do Q&As, 2 Q&As every month. When we get your results, we personally review and analyze them and send you kind of like a general protocol.
Amazing.
With like dietary recommendations and supplements to consider. And so that launches. So those are our 3 offerings to actually work with us on the health side. On the non-health side, if you click the shop tab on our website, we have all of our cookbooks. So we have a family favorites cookbook, a holiday cookbook, a summer cookbook. We're about to launch our fall cookbook. So we'll have a cookbook for every season because we want people to eat seasonally.
Yeah.
And then our Healthy Swap Index. Right now, that is a PDF that you can purchase. We're going to be working with an app developer to turn it into an app.
Oh, fun.
With a scanner tool and everything.
How helpful is that?
Yes.
Because how many times are we in the grocery and we're like,
yes. But what I've noticed with the scanner apps is, one, is some of them are not super accurate. So like there's an app right now, I'm not going to name any names. And I like looked at their scanner and it was like, it showed butter as green. Like butter is good, right? Which it is. However, one of the butters that was highlighted was in soybean oil and it was like soy butter. And so I was like, this product is good, but I'm like, I would never recommend soybean oil because it's a seed oil. I think what would separate us from other people is it's not just going to be about scanning. Like if you are like, man, I would love a healthy swap for mac and cheese for my kids.
Yeah.
You can literally find it in the app.
That's so cool.
So we're going to load I think 1,500 swaps.
That
we
takes
counted.
time too, I know.
Yes. So
you want to do it right.
There's like 1,500 items that are in that PDF
Amazing.
that we're going to work. Hopefully next year, that's our goal. Because everybody's like, can you just turn this into an app? I'm like, yes, we're going to try. So that's our big goal next year is to turn it into an app and load all of those swaps into the app.
Huge.
In addition to having the scanning availability,
amazing.
which right now is everybody's just a scanner.
Right.
There's not like a section where I can
educate.
Where I can find the healthy bedding or the healthy cleaning
you mean
products.
for other lifestyle stuff
yes,
too?
Yes, for everything, not just food. Like, hey, I want the clean skincare, the clean makeup.
Yep. Because if you're eating the healthy foods, but you're cooking in the wrong things,
I want a better deodorant or cologne for my husband.
There you go.
Click Healthy Dudes. It's going to be right there.
Yay. Okay, I
want the
wait
pregnancy
for
and
that.
postpartum. Click pregnancy and postpartum. That's all in the PDF index right now if you purchase it on my website. But we want to like make it convenient where people can just like
an app. We love our apps.
Yeah, right now people are like, man, this PDF, like it's great, but it'd be so much easier because I'm like having to search for the
Scroll,
PDF
yeah.
somewhere in the files in my phone
Yeah,
and
no, I
then
get that.
scroll and like, I get it. So
Hey, step by step, but
Step
this
by
is going to be
step,
huge.
step by
I'm
step.
so excited for you.
can I just say, just because a symptom is common doesn't mean it's normal.
I love
So
that
we
quote.
cannot normalize things that are not normal.
So true.
And it is common. The bloating, all these gut issues are common, but let's not normalize them because
Not
you
normal.
should not feel that way and you were not meant to live that way.
Bloating is not normal.
Nope.
You heard it first.
Yeah.
All right, we ruffled some feathers, but it's some great,
So yes, I
great
hope-
topics, guys.
Listen, I hope that if you're still here listening, that the heart behind this, even though we're ruffling some feather, my heart, and I know your heart is,
Yes.
we want to see people healthy. We want to see people get better. We want to see people reach their goals. We want to see people thrive, not just survive each day. Like that is my heart behind it. So if you heard me and I sound harsh, it's because I care. I'm passionate about this. Like I have seen people go from being bedridden to like
That's your why.
new human beings.
Yeah.
And I have cried on Zoom calls with people
Ugh.
because they're like, this has changed my life. You have given me my life back. My other practitioners, the same thing.
How amazing, because we have one life to live. Like, why would you
Yes.
not want to be and do everything it takes to be in your most optimal state? Like,
Yes. And that's
Why
why
not?
it's not hard for me
Right.
to live a healthy lifestyle
No.
because I feel amazing.
it's a priority.
I know what it feels like to not feel good.
Yeah.
I don't want to go back to that.
No.
So I'm not tempted by any of the crap that's out there. For what?
Yeah. It's just not worth it.
Here, that's the thing. Most people don't know that they feel bad. But once you start to feel good, you're like, wow, I didn't even know that I felt that
It's
bad.
like, why would you want
and
to go
I don't
back?
want to go back.
Why would you want to go back?
Exactly.
All the truth bombs being dropped, and it's
Yeah.
so good. Well, thank you so much, Amy, for coming on, and I'm so excited for listeners to get all the insight and education from this episode. And after our time working together, you need to come back on so we can talk about like where I was at, where
And your results. Oh my gosh,
Yes.
I would love that.
All the-
I
all the
love
stool
breaking down
tests.
those labs. I love it so much.
Well, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with a friend. It really helps us grow and bring you more great content. See you guys next week.